Václav Havel, A Word About Words. Radeček, July 25th, 1989. In the beginning was the Word, so it states on the first page of one of the most important books known to us. What is meant in that book is that the Word of God is the source of all creation. But surely the same could be said, figuratively speaking, of every human action. And indeed, words can be said to be the very source of our being, and in fact the very substance of the cosmic life form we call man. Spirit, the human soul, our self-awareness, our ability to generalize and think in concepts, to perceive the world as the world, and not just as our locality, and lastly, our capacity for knowing that we will die, and living in spite of that knowledge. Surely all these are mediated or actually created by words? If the Word of God is the source of God's entire creation, then that part of God's creation, which is the human race, exists as such only thanks to another of God's miracles, the miracle of human speech. At the beginning of everything is the Word. It is a miracle to which we owe the fact that we are human. But at the same time, it is a pitfall and a test, a snore and a trial. More so, perhaps, than it appears to you who have enormous freedom of speech, and might therefore assume that words are not so important. They are. They are important everywhere. The same word can be humble at one moment and arrogant the next. And the humble word can be transformed easily and imperceptibly into an arrogant one, whereas it is a difficult and protracted process to transform an arrogant word into one that is humble. As we approach the end of the second millennium, the world, and particularly Europe, finds itself at a peculiar crossroads. It has been a long time since there were so many grounds for hoping that everything will turn out well. At the same time, there have never been so many reasons to fear that if everything went wrong, the catastrophe would be final. It is not hard to demonstrate that all the main threats confronting the world today, from atomic war and ecological disaster to a catastrophic collapse of society and civilization, have hidden deep within them a single root cause: the imperceptible transformation of what was originally a humble message into an arrogant one. Arrogantly, man began to believe that as the pinnacle and Lord of creation, he understood nature completely and could do what he liked with it. Arrogantly, he began to think that as the possessor of reason, he could completely understand his own history and could therefore plan a life of happiness for all. Arrogantly, he began to think that since he was capable of splitting the atom, he was now so perfect that there was no longer any danger of nuclear arms, rivalry, let alone nuclear war. In all those cases, he was fatally mistaken. That is bad. But in each case, he is already beginning to realize his mistake, and that is good. Having learned from all this, we should all fight together against arrogant words and keep a weather eye out for any insidious germs of arrogance in words that are seemingly humble. Obviously, this is not just a linguistic task. Responsibility for and toward words is a task which is intrinsically ethical. As such, however, it is situated beyond the horizon of the visible world, in that realm wherein dwells the word that was in the beginning, and is not the word of man.